Hello, I'm Jeff Stanley with Standley Handcrafted, and today we're going to be making melts with IGI6006. Now typically when you make melts or tarts, you make them with paraffin just because they're usually made a little bit smaller and paraffin packs a little bit more scent or hot throw than any of the other waxes. Plus, when you make them in a clamshell like this, the paraffin, it cools and cures a little bit harder so that they're easier to break. But any wax will work. You just have to do a few things different when you make the melts or the tarts with different types of waxes. Now with 6006, it's a little bit softer of a wax. I'm going to go ahead and pour them in two different things today. I'm going to pour them in shot cups, and then I'm going to pour one example in the clamshells, just so you can see what it does when you make a full clamshell. Now the 6006 cools and hardens a little bit softer than most waxes, which is why you want to use the shot cups. And not only that, it actually creates a little bit bigger of a melt, so you get a nice good hot throw in any type of candle warmer that you're going to put this in. So I've got the wax heating up behind me, and we're just going to do 1 pound, and we're going to go ahead and pour it out, and then once it comes out, I'm going to show you the difference between the clamshells and the shot cups, and go over a little bit why one is better than the other. Okay, I'm going to assume that you've already seen the videos on heating the wax, especially the IGI6006, since that's what we're using. But if you haven't, I went ahead and heated the wax to 180 degrees. I pulled it off and I've let it sit to probably around, it's right around 150 to 155 degrees. We're going to add our fragrance now. We're going to stir it for a minute or two. And then I'm going to go ahead and pour these. And then I'm going to go ahead and fill the clamshell. I'm going to fill it all the way to the top just so that we get a good idea of what it comes out like when it's completely full. And that. Alright, well, that had a hole in it, so I'm just going to go ahead and pour one down at the very end here, and we're going to call that good. It's not going to make a difference that that thing's not full, just because this wax is so soft you'll be able to see what I'm talking about when it comes out of the clamshells anyways. This wax is going to be really soft when it's completely cured and hardened, so if you've got it in a block form like that, it'll still work. It's just not going to break away as easy as paraffin does, because paraffin will actually snap. And I don't know where that hole is. It's hardened up a little bit, so we'll just go ahead and make 4 of these here. Okay, and that's it. Alright, we're going to go ahead and let these harden up, and then when they're done, I'm going to show you the best way to get these out and what happens when you do pour them in a clamshell as opposed to a shot cup. Okay, so we've got these done now. Now, to be fair, these have been curing for probably a couple weeks now, so they're a little bit harder than these guys right here. It's not going to slow down or get in the way of what I'm going to show you with this though. But the difference is between these, I'll get up a little bit. So if you pour the 6006 into this, it's a very, very soft wax. It comes out a little bit, but it can definitely be a little messy. And again, this is a little softer than it should be, but you still get the idea. Whereas this one right here, a little bit tougher, and they just pop right out. Definitely less of a mess. But between the two, between those two, you're going to get a good wax melt or a tart out of either one of those containers. I typically go to the wax shot container just because it gets a little bit bigger of a melt They sell extremely easy. Whereas these, depending on how you break them up, it's just a little bit more of a mess. It's not a huge deal, so it's really personal preference, but I definitely prefer to go to the shot cups. Alright, so that's pretty much it. IGI6006 is a very good wax for melts, or tarts, whatever you want to call them, but you will have to put them in a container like this. They just do a lot better. It's easier to get these out. If you're doing any type of melts or tarts where you want to come up with designs like presents or like fish or animals, you're going to definitely want to use a paraffin, something that's a little bit harder. As you saw with the 6006, it's way too soft to get any type of design out of it. That's why it's best to go in these shot cups. It's a single pour, they pop right out, very easy to do. And not to mention customers, if you are going to sell these, customers love the shot cups. They're usually priced $1 to $2 a piece. People can kind of pick and choose, grab several of them at a time. So a very good option for this wax. And it does work very well for melts because it provides such a good hot throw. A melt or a tart in this size will fill pretty much our entire downstairs, which is dining room, living room, kitchen, kind of all together. I will say the one benefit to going with all paraffin is you can, with the clamshells, you can break them apart and pick and choose how much you want to do in a single room. So if you were in a room this big, you'd probably break off 3 or 4 pieces just to fill this area. Whereas if you were in a bathroom, you'd probably take the clamshell and break off 1 piece because it's a smaller area. The nice thing about paraffin also is you don't need such a big block to get a big hot throw. So you can do 1 or 2 blocks. I'd say in paraffin, probably about half this size would fill this entire room. And like always, if you have any questions, please ask them down below. I answer every single one of them. You can get in contact with me through the website or any of the links below. So please reach out. I answer every single one of them. And if I missed anything or glossed over anything, please don't hesitate to ask or comment below. I'll go through and try to update. And if I do get any questions that I missed in the video, I'll add it in the video description down below as well. Also check out the other videos where we go through and show you how to make candles. We have another video that shows you a little bit more in depth on how to make melts as far as the temperatures, the heating temperatures, the pouring temperatures. I really glossed over it in this one just to show the differences between the clamshells and the shot cups. And I will have more videos coming with the other waxes that I have. I'm going to be doing another one just like this with IGI464 and also the 4627 Comfort Blend. So we're going to go through and show every single one of those. So stay tuned for that one and please subscribe for more.